My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we are looking at which ancestor is giving you the ancestral side eye. So, most of you that are here, especially if you're on a healing journey, you've had a spiritual awakening, you are, the apple of your ancestors' eye because you're actually doing the work. And whatever you do for yourself, you also do for your lineage. But we're human, and sometimes we do things that make our spirit team go, hmm, what are you really doing? So we're gonna see which ancestor is giving you the side eye right now, and we're gonna see why. We're gonna see what do they want you to do, and then we're gonna check in with your higher self if their advice is good for you, because not all ancestors are in a position to give you high vibrational advice. Okay, so let's check in here and see exactly who's coming through. Now, spirit, is this person from viewer's father's side or mother's side? It's from your mother's side. And who is this that's coming through? We have a great grandmother that is coming through. Now, is it your great grandmother or someone connected to your great grandmother? This is someone connected to your great grandmother. So let me go on my other chart and let me see who's this person that is connected to your great grandmother that is coming through. Spirit, will I find the answer on this side of the chart or on this side? It'll be on this side. And then we have an unrecognized child. It says, well, it says bastard, but illegitimate. So this is a child that was not recognized by their family. Whether your great grandmother had a child that they never told anyone about, or your great grandfather, they may have been like what we call an outside child, or this is someone who was recognized by your great grandmother as an honorary child, but maybe have been ostracized from the family. So like a child to your great grandmother, but ostracized from the family. All right, let's see why. Let's see their energy, and then we're gonna look at why they're giving you the side eye. Let's see the energy that they're vibrating in. Because sometimes, what's that proverb? A child that does not feel the warmth of the village will set it on fire. Sometimes when we're ostracized, for some persons it makes us more compassionate, and certainly more compassionate, and for some people stronger, but for others it can make us feel very bitter. So let's see where we're going here. And we have already started off kind of on a negative foot. We have the detective in reverse. And this is voyeurism and falsifying information. So listen, this ancestor is keeping a keen eye on you. But it looks like the lens that they are seeing things through is kind of skewed. I remember I told you when people feel ostracized, they can get very bitter. And it says they're falsifying information. So it feels like they are misinterpreting a lot of things that they are seeing when they look at you. So their side eye may not be warranted. Let's see what's going on. What a strange thing. All right, their energy, we have light attribute, the warrior, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. So it feels like, as I told you, when people are ostracized, it can certainly make them stronger. So you know what I'm picking up from these two energies that we've already got? Just like people, they're complicated, right? Just like everybody else, they're complicated. Part of them, it looks like they got a lot of grit as a result of this experience. But it also seems to me that there might be a note of jealousy whenever they look at you. Okay, because maybe you have always enjoyed the acceptance of your family, you've always been included, and maybe you don't know what it's like to be ostracized. Okay, also with this warrior energy, I feel like this person might come in hot, or might be very reactive, right? They're always up for a fight because they've always had to fight for themselves and fight for their identity. So they might be a little hyper vigilant. So again, when they're looking at situations with you, I think they might be misinterpreting some things, and they're already ready to go to war for you. But It's not exactly what they think it is. It's their lens that's causing them to interpret things like this. What else? Oh my God, what is that? Eh, What is that? We have the prostitute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. This person went through a lot. And because this prostitute card came up, I think they went through some hard times where they had to make some tough decisions, which we won't judge them about. They had to make some tough decisions about their life. And certainly they may have done sex work, or they may have had to do jobs that didn't align with their sense of purpose, didn't align with their spirit, um, didn't align with their morals and principles, right? So this person, um, as I told you, they have a lot of grit because of what they went through. But I do think that it makes them kind of jump the gun a bit, you know? Let's get one more. We have the mediator in reverse. So that's already an imbalance. Negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. Okay, so they're always looking for an opportunity, and that's what they had to do when they were alive or incarnated, right? They always had to troll around looking for an opportunity to thrive, and even now it looks like they're in hustler mode. They're in hustler mode, um, and what that tells me is that in their lifetime they they built up a lot of emotional reserves, but I think they're parts of their character that still needed refining. So they're all about hustle culture, do what you have to do to survive because they're still in survival mode, right? They're still in survival mode. And you, maybe one of the lessons that you are dealing with right now is moving out of that survival mode, and allowing yourself to receive from spirit. So maybe your transition now to receiving might be gaining a bit of judgment from this person because as far as this person's concerned, if you want something done, you do it yourself and you hustle for it, right? All right. Anyway, let's ask right away. Why is this person giving you the side eye, right? Why are you facing their judgment at this time? We have sexuality. Okay. What about your sexuality? And we have here inspiration. And we have someone here. They're building a kite and they're lifting off. Okay. And we also have here a power struggle. And we have here relationship. I feel the message. And we have here giftedness. And even though the person is gifted, and they've already been presented with the key, they're not using that key to open up this abundance. Remember, I was just telling you about making that shift out of hustle culture and always doing towards receiving. I think this is why they are watching you side eye. I feel like in this lifetime, you are meant to balance, and this is why we have the power struggle coming through. You are meant to balance your masculine and feminine energies within yourself. And for a lot of you guys, well, for the past year, maybe 2 years, you've been operating a lot in your masculine, trying to hustle, trying to do, and maybe not listening to your intuitive hits that are coming through, because Spirit is saying you are gifted and you're very intuitive, but you've not been using that intuition to open up this realm of abundance that is here for you. In fact, you have not been operating. It looks like you see, you're still on the ground here trying to put this kite together when you should be operating more in the upper realms right now. It seems like there is some sort of intuitive information that is waiting to come through, that's going to help you unlock this door to abundance, but you're so busy doing and trying to put together this kite that you've not been listening. That's why they're giving you the side eye. You've not been listening. And the reason why this ancestor is connecting deeply to your energy right now is because they were the exact same way when they were incarnated. Busy, busy, doing things that didn't resonate with their spirit, didn't resonate with their principles, didn't resonate with their energy, just to survive. They stayed in survival mode instead of using your natural intuitive gifts and your intuition to create the life that you want and open up this door to abundance. That's why they're giving you the side eye. So what do they want you to do? Step more into your feminine energy, which is the energy of receiving messages from spirit, receiving gifts from the universe, being yin energy right now. What does your higher self have to say about all of this? Okay. So this is just their opinion, this ancestor's opinion. But what does your higher self have to say about all of this? In the extended, we're going to look at your person and which of their ancestors are giving them the side eye and why. Okay, and we have here, it's about balance, right? So this reinforces, and the star card it's about hope, sure, but it's also about a karmic lesson. The star card is a card of karma, right? So spirit is saying, your higher self is saying right now that they're basically co-signing this message, and you are meant to come into balance in this lifetime, and you do that by stepping in to the feminine energy. We have this person has female embodied here, and then we have the moon in the background, both the signs of the feminine. Okay, what does your higher self have to say? We have Eight of Pentacles. They see you working hard. Some of you guys burning the candle at both ends, right? And in fact, for some of you guys, you might even be addicted to it. We have the Eight of Cups in reverse here, right? You're working hard, and this working hard is not working for you. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling burnt out, but you're still doing. Spirit saying it's time to move away from that kind of paradigm, and move into this ability to give and receive in equal measure, right? So again, your higher self is saying the same thing. They see you hustling. Look at you here. You're hustling, right? You're working hard, right? But Spirit is saying it's gotten to the point where this is actually sabotaging you and your energy, and sabotaging your progress. So what they want you to do is actually slow down. What I want you to do is make time for stillness, because they have guidance that they want to give you. They see the path ahead, but you're so busy working that it feels like you've lost the ability to be still and listen to spirit. Let's get some last bit of advice from spirit, and then we will close off this reading. So you're working hard on something, but your higher self and this ancestor is reminding you that every project that we do is a co-creation between us and spirit, and it looks like you've been leaving the spirit out of it. All right, what's the message to you? birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So it has nothing about doing, it's about dreaming, visualizing, receiving this vision of this new world or whatever this new project is. All right, what do we have here? We have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. So Spirit is saying, whilst you're there busy working hard, you have a lot of spiritual upgrades that have been coming in, but they don't even have time to integrate because you are just on the go. You are just on the go. Let's see. Awakening. Okay. Card number 90. Let's see what they're saying here. Okay. You are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you and at many levels. For some of you, you're so busy grinding, you don't even recognize that. You are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you're incarnated. You may find that you're experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rise through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for you at this time is not to overthink it and to stay grounded. Share your experiences with like minded souls whilst you consciously integrate them. Journal and pay attention to your dreams. You are remembering, and your soul gifts are emerging. During the time of transition and awakening, you may be called to devote yourself to be of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into this world. Stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card may be a sign that you're here to birth one of those creations into the world, or perhaps you're being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following work of light activation, and the activation is this: I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Shakti energy to rise from the base of my spine. I open myself to the universe, using me in a way that delights the mind, body, and spirit. So it feels like all this is going on, all this cosmic energy is making all these little micro and maybe even macro shifts inside of you, and you're not even feeling it because you are too busy grinding, right? You're too busy with work, right? So spirit is calling you back to your stillness, your groundedness, because it looks like there's a lot of information that is waiting to come through. Okay? All right, my love. That was your reading. Oh, next week is my birthday, Cinco de Mayo. Hello. So from now until the 5th of the 5th, there's 20% off everything on my website. Okay? All right. Anyways, so to my fellow Cinco de Mayans, have a great week. Bye.